record, you guys will see a little red flashing dot on the top of your screen. And today, Mr. Omir, we're going to finish up with lesson 5 today. So can you guys see my screen nice and big? Okay. So today we're going to continue talking about the community, and that is the place where we live, where we shop, where we run errands, where we work. And today we're talking about important places in our community. So these are places that we all should know about. So you may know some places and buildings in your community. You may know where to go to buy groceries. You may know where to go to get your favorite video game. And there are other places you need to know about as an adult. So first questions first. Do you know where to go to get groceries, Mr. Omir? Yes or no? Yeah, you smart cookie, you. I knew you'd know that one. All right. So your community may have a post office. The post office is a place to buy stamps or send mail and other packages. Adult males can sign up for selective service here. It's a law that all males sign up at 18 years old. So selective service is that you would sign up to join the military. And at 18, most men in the US have to do that, but not all, even though this says that. There are some exceptions to the rule. So Mr. Omir, what I would like to know is, do you know where your post office is? Yes or no? No? Okay. I actually don't know where the post office is in my town either. I just put my mail in my mailbox and put the flag up. So I get it. It's not as normal to go to the post office as it used to be. So our community may have a Department of Motor Vehicles, or the DMV. And I am sure you have heard at least your teachers, if not your mom, talking about how annoying the DMV is. The DMV is where you get a state ID or a driver's license, and it's important to have an ID card. It provides information about who you are. And you need a picture ID to get a job, to set up a bank account, or to get on an airplane. And it's just generally good practice to have one. So if you are ever in trouble or in an emergency, you had something to verify who you were. And I remember from the other day that you do not have an ID card. So if you decide to do that, Miss Connie or I can help you get paperwork, and then you and mom could go to the DMV and get an ID card. So do you know where a DMV is, Mr. Omir? Do you know? Yes or no? No. I think the closest one, or the big one in town, is the one at the mall. Is that correct, Miss Connie and Miss Carla? Yeah, it's the one that's at the mall that we go to when we go shopping. And you know where the mall is? We've been there together. So if you decide that's where you need to go. So your community may have a Social Security Administration office. As an adult with a disability, you may be eligible for supplemental security income when you turn 18 years old. Getting SSI will depend on your disability and your income. So I'm not going to ask that because that's personal information and you shouldn't share that. So if people ask that, you only talk about it with family, okay? So that's something you talk about with mom or maybe Miss Connie occasionally, but that's private information. Okay. So do you guys, is there a Social Security office in Jackson, or do you guys have to go to the Lansing one? Okay. Okay. So your community may have a library. A library is a place to borrow books or magazines. You can borrow music and movies from the library too. It also has computers. You can get voter registration cards here when you turn 18. So Mr. O'Meara, do you ever go to your library? Yes or no? My note one's getting kind of junky looking. Yes, you go to the library a lot. Do you get books and stuff there with mom and your brothers? I think you got a brother. Yes or no? Do you get books? No? Do you get movies? No, you just go and help people, hang out with the fam. That's still fun too. So it talks about voter registration cards, and that's something we're going to talk about in the month of November is voting. And we're going to practice that in our mock election next month. So we'll talk about that a little bit more. Our community may have a recreation center, and it's a place to play sports or exercise or swim and take classes. You can meet new people and hang out with old friends. Some are free and some cost money. So Jackson has a recreation center, right? It's the MAC, right? Is there another one other than that? Yes. Why? The YMCA. Got it. Got it. Good job, Miss Carla, from afar. Okay, so we go to the MAC when we watch our friends at Kate Young play basketball games, and I'm not sure if you guys go for other reasons, but that's a place you've been before. So your community may have a community assistance center, and it's a place to get help with food or bills or health care. And you have to apply for those services, and getting those services will depend on your needs and incomes. So one place that does that in Jackson is Lifeways. They can help connect you. But the other place would be your DHS office. And I'm not sure where DHS is in Jackson.
It's on Louis Glick Highway.
There we go. Okay, so that would be a place if you ever needed help, or you can call your local 211 United Way, and they can tell you other agencies that might be able to help you, like a church or something like that. It is important to learn about where you live, and your community has a website. Explore it. Who are the leaders in your community? What are the places that are helpful to you? And are there upcoming events you would like to take part in? So we're going to check out the local community. And Miss Connie, does Mr. O'Meara actually live in Jackson, or does he live in one of the other? Actually lives in Jackson. So we're going to look at the City of Jackson website. There we go. We're going to check it out together and see some of the stuff that's on this website. And you might need help from mom or a brother or sister to find stuff, but this is something that every city has. Look at that pretty picture of Jackson. So we want to check out, let's see. It said to talk about who our people are. So let's check out who the mayor is. And it's Derek Dobies. Is it Dobies or Dobbies?
Dobie.
Okay. So he is our mayor in Jackson. So he would be someone important to know. And I didn't know him clearly, but I don't live in Jackson. Although I don't know who the mayor of where I live is either. Not doing well here. All right, so city attorney, that's also someone important to know. They help make sure that our laws are taken care of. They help protect people when bad things have happened. They deal with all sorts of paperwork for the city that's not fun. And it's Matthew Haggerty, so he's an important person. Let's see. City manager, that's another one that's kind of important. His name is Jonathan Green, and Sean Laporte is the assistant, and they help run the city and all the city departments. So they help with the people that clean up our city and make it pretty and plan our events. So let's see what's in our community. You guys have lots of good stuff here. So one of the big things is recreation and culture. So you could go here to see your city parks, and Jackson has quite a few. So you guys could learn all about city parks and trails. Here's your community centers that we talked about. So you have the Bose Center and the Bose. Do you go to Bose?
Booze.
Booze. Omir, do you go there? I see your yes popping up. Do you like hanging out around the city and in the community? Going to the parks? No or yes? Yes, very cool. So you're going to have to be our expert when we talk about this stuff because you have done it and clearly you know more than I do. So I'm going to need your help. Okay, so then there's all sorts of recreation programs and you guys have Michigan Speedway. That's a big one that most people know. Okay, so special events, senior programs, young adult activities. These are all fun things in sports or classes that you could sign up for. And this is one of the things we talk about in our transition plan. So this is a place where you could go to learn new things. And I'm just trying to find your calendar. Usually they have a big calendar of city events. If you guys see it and I scroll past it, let me know. I used to work for a city and your website is so much nicer. Oh, so latest news, stuff that's happening. You can figure out where your voting ballot should go. Oh, here's your calendar down here. Silly me. So we might not see anything on here right now that would be super fun just because a lot of activities are currently closed. But if you would click down here, you can see all of the upcoming events for the month that your city is doing. So you guys have lots of meetings. Yeah, so it doesn't have any community events posted, but I bet if you check later in the year, you'll find some stuff. A lot of cities post their information about like trick-or-treating and stuff like that on their city calendar. All right, so we're gonna quickly go through our questions. We only have, I think, 6 today, Mr. Omir. So I learned that at the post office, you can A, send mail, B, apply for benefits, or C, exercise. Miss Carla saying A, Miss Kasha saying A. Miss Connie says A. Oh, you are so right, Mr. Omir. It's A, you can send mail there. I learned at the Social Security office, you can A, apply for benefits, B, borrow books, or C, get help with food or bills. I see Miss Kasha's answer. I see Miss Carlos. Oh, yes, you are right. It is A, apply for benefits. I learned at the recreation center, you can A, exercise, B, apply for benefits, or C, send mail. All right, Miss Margaret, Miss Cushion, Miss Connie, answers are locked in. Oh, yes, Omir, you are correct. It's A again. Apparently, I was on an A streak this week. I learned at the DMV, you can A, borrow movies or books, B, exercise, or C, get an ID. Okay, Miss Margaret's locked in. Miss Connie, Miss Carla locked in. Mr. Omir says C. You are correct. You can get an ID. I learned that at the library, you can A, get help with food or bills, B, borrow books or movies, or C, send mail. Kasha and Margaret locked in. Carla's locked in. Miss Connie's locked in. Mr. Omir, you're correct. It is B, the library. I did see that you put up C first, and a lot of libraries have mailboxes. So I could see like the big post office ones, or at least the ones where I grew up do. I learned that at the Community Assistance Center, you can A, apply for benefits, B, borrow books or movies, or C, get help with food or bills. All right. Miss Connie's room, I got your answer. Miss Carla, I got it. Mr. Omir says B. Well, at our Community Assistance Center, that's where we get help with food or bills if we need it. So they are the people that help us if we are having an emergency or just need some assistance. That's where we would go. So, Mr. Omir, I just want to thank you. You did a fabulous job holding down the fort for all of us and making sure I know stuff. And when I have questions about the community, I'm going to come pester you, just so you know. Be prepared. We know I have lots of questions. Miss Connie, do you have anything?
Nope, just hope to see him again at 11:30 when we meet to talk about.
It's community helpers today.
That's right, community helpers. Thank you. Sorry.
All right, Mr. Omir, we will hopefully see you again later today at 11:30. Thanks for joining us this morning, buddy. You're a rock star.
Bye.
No, you're not. Don't tell me that. You rock. You're the best. I know. Bye, friend.
Bye-bye.